are energized, who are excited, and they will show up in November.
Right.
And that is the combination that's going to allow us to make sure we have a brand new Congress member from this area, because lightning will strike twice. As well as up and down across Haven, the governor, myself, and Tish James, and Tom DiNapoli, and Kirsten Gillibrand included as well. So we've got an incredible ticket.
Yes.
It's a lot of energy, but it's places like this that are making the difference. And I love to see the new people and getting involved. I mean, we have our traditional people who have been with me all these years, but I'm feeling that there's just more people stepping up. And I just go from Yates County, and tons of people are now stepping up. People that have been talking about politics or being annoyed and frustrated and angry, now they're showing up and they're being part of the solution, which is to elect Democrats this November. So I'm just here to say thank you and talk about any questions, or Judith, if you want to start the conversation. But I love coming here because I'm a Geneseo mom, as you know.
And we've got 1,600 students transitioning on
really?
campus.
Yes.
So far.
That's
They stay
back until the end of the That is incredible. That is incredible.
Now, if we can just get them out, we're working hard. Eddie here is in charge of our student outreach.
Fantastic. Well, that's they will turn out. I mean, where's their closest polling place?
On campus. That just
That'll
happened.
make a difference as well. That really will. So there's no excuse. Polls will be open what time in the morning?
6 in the morning.
What time of their first classes? Maybe 8, 9.
More like 8:30.
Students are there outside the polls.
Oh,
We
that's
got people
great.
down.
That's great.
Yeah, the college is doing that too.
Will there be an impact from people from Puerto Rico in the state, do you think?
I don't know so much here on the, probably more in the Rochester area. Rochester had quite a few, and I don't know the efforts to have them registered. I just don't know. But I remember seeing plane loads of individuals landing in Florida saying, hey, this could help Florida. So we'll take all the support we get, and certainly anyone who came under those circumstances would not be happy with the Republican leadership in Washington on how they basically abandoned Puerto Rico. And that you should be proud that the state of New York.
Oh, but they got a lot of paper towels.
We've done more for them than anybody, and we're going to continue. We're not done, and students from Geneseo and other places have really stepped up to be part of going down there and helping rebuild communities and businesses and homes. So it's something I'm glad you raised that as well. That was over a year ago.
Before we get too far away from the 147% that I keep liking to come back to, I just want to remind everybody, that was a Thursday primary. And our polls didn't open until noon. And that's something that's going to change next year. We're going to be able to vote all day in the rural counties. But I'm so proud of what people in this community as a county managed to do on that election.
It was astounding, and Judith, your leadership is so
So
apparent everywhere. You've had a profound influence on the politics of a county that people once said could not elect Democrats. And you refuse to accept that premise. You just refuse. Sheer force of will. And you banded together the most enlightened Democrats and the most passionate Democrats. And I've said this in Manhattan. I said it's a lot easier to be a Democrat here and in Brooklyn than it is in Livingston County. So you are the true believers, the heart and soul of the party. And any chance I have have the opportunity to come out and just say thank you and to keep powering on, because this is what we're doing. And it's also, stakes have never been greater. They've never been, even when I won my election, we did not have to worry about Donald Trump. We had Barack Obama in the White House. We had a majority of Democrats in the Senate. So as much as the House would do some crazy things, they weren't really going to happen. They weren't going to become policy. And all those firewalls have been burned down, and now we have to build them back up. And that's what Democratic leadership will do. Also in our state capital, you mentioned the voting issue. And we've talked about this a lot. We have to do so much more, because as the birthplace of the women's rights movement here in upstate New York, and know that it'll be exactly 100 years this November since when women won the right to vote, the first time that they actually exercised that right. Last year we got the law changed. This would have been 100 years ago. This would be the 100th anniversary of women casting the right to vote. So this is why we have to kind of get after women as well. But of all places, we should have a much better percentage, much higher percentage of individuals participating in our democracy than we have. We're number 42nd or 48, depending on the election, in terms of participation in the nation out of 50. Okay? So, yeah, point of embarrassment. So what are we going to do? We have to get into early voting. 37 states allow people to go before that one day. And when you think about it, a lot of individuals, a lot of Democrats work 2 jobs. And they work a job and go to school, and then they're taking care of the family, taking care of the grandparents and parents. There's just a lot of responsibilities on people. And travel is more challenging in an area where you're not just voting in the building you live in, is often the case. So we have to make it easier, make it earlier, not make it so difficult to change your party affiliation. I mean, you have to be now I have to know that I really want to be somebody else a year from now. That's not realistic.
A year plus.
Year
The
plus.
deadline's
Yeah.
October 12th for it to be effective next year.
Unreasonable. I mean, I can't tell you how many Republicans said to me in the primary, I cannot wait to go vote for you. I'm going to switch to become a Democrat to vote for you. It's like, no, you're not. I hate to break it to you, but the law is not. So let's make that easier. And also, there should be no county in the state of New York that waits till noon for people to have the right to vote in a primary. And that has to go. We also have to stop putting so much pressure on voters in terms of saying, you want to be a good citizen, well, we want you to come out and vote in a village election, usually in March. We also want you to vote in a May election for school board. We now want you to vote in a primary for Congress in June. Show up again in September. And by the way, show up again in November. That might be just pushing people's patience. Okay? So let's deal with that reality. At least get back to combining the federal and the state like it was in 2011, but it changed in 2012. We can at least do that. And the savings to the counties from not having to run to them, that's when you can put that toward being open at 6 a.m. That's what I figured. Because some counties have said it's an expense. So I think these are some of the reforms we have to do, make it easier to vote, early voting. Just break down the barriers to participation in democracy. We have to do that. This is New York. We know how to lead. We changed the Senate, and that'll be one of the early items on our agenda. And I have the gavel in my hand, and I'm going to call on Andrea Stewart Cousins, Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins. You won't believe the change we're going to have, including the codification of Roe v. Wade, which is this particular day of all days. We know how critically important it is, and I'm praying that there's some divine intervention between now and the next vote in the Senate. That we have to have people do what's right by our country. But in the event they don't, I've been a student of you're a better historian than I am, but a student of our political history for a long time. And what I say to the young people is the pendulum swings, okay? Don't worry, this is not how your country is going to remain. We have 2 years to correct course in the event we don't take back the House and the Senate this year. We will make great progress. I think we'll take the House for sure. Then we have a chance at the White House. That's when we get the correction. And then we can put in the history books an asterisk and say, we didn't really mean this kind. This was not us. This is not who we are. Please forget about this. And we'll get it right. We'll get it right. And then we'll be proud again, as we should be. So I just want to thank everybody again. Judith, you're not just a leader here, but for the state, the Rural Caucus, the Democratic Rural Caucus. She is in Albany or in New York City at these events, and people have such respect for her position, not just representing me, but the voice of a lot of rural Democrats who, up until a few years ago, people were like, oh, do they really matter? Are there enough of them? Well, I'm an upstate Democrat, and yes, we believe that there is high value in all of us working to turn out the vote. How else do you get 147% without the engagement of good people like yourselves? So just here to say thank you. Let's bring it home in November.
Your love for Livingston County, and we were so happy to be able to help you with the primary in any way we could. And we're just glad to see you here, and hope you get a chance to visit your favorite waitress over at the Geneseo Family Restaurant, because we know that you know Livingston County like the back of your hand.
I do.
You represent us, and unfortunately, we don't have great representation other places. So you are very important to us.
And I will close by saying we will elect Nate McMurray.
All right.
tell you why. All those Democrats, those new voters who are energized, they're all showing up again. I also believe, as I was able to do, I pulled over Republicans to support me when I ran in that first election, and indeed the second one, because otherwise I wouldn't have made it. On the issues of Medicare,
Yes.
fighting for Social Security, protecting our seniors, and I also believe there'll be moderate Republican women who are very concerned about reproductive rights, reproductive health, and they'll come our way as well. So I think we have the formula, more Democrats than usual turning out, but also the Republicans, more moderate, who are concerned about these values, and I think that's the combination for Nate. And it doesn't hurt to be running against someone who's under federal indictment.
It should.
Advice credulity,
So
though.
so I think that, you know, just to protect the integrity and our reputation nationally, we have a moral responsibility to say that someone who has clearly broken the law, obviously not convicted, but under federal indictment is very serious. And I think that we deserve to have leadership with integrity and decency. And in fact, just a law-abiding individual. How about that for a
Yes.
while? How about that? Pretty low bar, okay?
That's different.
So we can get there. I believe we can get there. And you're the ones who are going to put him over the top. I'm going to do it. I'm doing an event for him next week.
Yep.
We got to raise some money, but you know, you won't see him as much on TV as you see the negative ads. But that happened to me as well. I was outspent by the Koch brothers and Karl Rove and all the nasty people in the world. They were pouring millions of dollars to take me down the first time and the second time. And we lost this by 1.6%.
Boy.
So,
And that you carried Livingston.
I could have. But that was before Donald Trump was a galvanizing
Right.
force. Okay,
Yeah.
that is also what is going on. I didn't have that, and we had Barack Obama. We weren't as worried. Now there's a fear among Democrats, independents, and moderate Republicans, and they're going to come and fix it. And particularly women. Women will be the ones who turn out and save not just this district, but indeed save democracy, because the stakes are that high.
Yeah.
I see Arnold. Arnie's over there too. There he is. Arnie drove me all over this district. We'll give him a hug because he was incredible for me.
It was a pleasure. And I finally met your husband,
Yes,
and he's a great guy.
Yeah, that's right here. That's right here.
Driving away from the picnic, remember? Because he couldn't